This program is brought to you by Schools Division City of San Fernando, Pampanga High School, and Pampanga High School Special Program for Journalism.
For today's news on point, PHS announces newly elected PHS Supreme Student Government and Club officers. Giant Lantern Festival Foundation Incorporated donates 500,000 pesos worth of school supplies to SDO San Fernando Education Pantry. Pampanga High School PTA officers aim for parents' intercommunication through social media. And PHS distributed medical kits to its teaching and non-teaching personnel.
Live from the Lantern capital of the Philippines, San Fernando, Pampanga, this is your primetime news source. This is News on Point.
Pampanga High School elected new Parents-Teacher Association officers in Pampanga High School.
The officers were parents and teachers who were selected through classroom and school-based online voting.
Along with that, PHS PTA President encouraged parents' intercommunication through the social media. Here is Maria Dina Penesilia Ochenko for the details.
With the non-face-to-face education on its second year, the newly elected president of the Parent-Teacher Association of Pampanga High School is calling for continuous intercommunication among parents, teachers, and officers through the social media. In an interview with Mr. Alberto M. Ochenko Jr., PTA president, he encouraged all parents to constantly visit the PTA Facebook page where events, projects, and activities of the school are presented. Also, he said that the Facebook page is the proper venue where parents can be reached out for any suggestions on what support can be given to students and teachers during this distance learning where students stay at home with parents and guardians as facilitators of learning.
Pandemic na dulot ng COVID-19, nabanggit mo nga, walang face-to-face na pasok ang mga estudyante. Dahil doon, napakahirap o challenging din ang pagkakaroon ng tamang communication sa ating mga parents. At yun din ang pinaka-importanting kailangan nating magawa na magkaroon ng communication sa mga parents para nalalaman nila kung ano ang development sa pag-aaral ng mga estudyante. So sa tulong ng social media, gusto nating ma-reach ang pinakamaraming bilang ng mga magulang. Kaya nagkaroon tayo at sinisikap natin na maibalita sa kanila ang mga pangyayari sa pamamagitan ng social media. Kaya sa paraan ng inyong programa, News on Point, niyayaya natin ang mga magulang na tignan ang Facebook account ng Pampanga High School, Parents Teachers Association, at ibahagi din sa kamukha naming mga magulang para magkaroon ng mas malapit na ugnayan kahit na sa gitna ng ganitong sitwasyon na dulot ng COVID-19.
With the anticipated limited face-to-face classes by next year, the PTA president expressed his support for the plans of the PHS administration.
Halos mahigit 12,000 ng mga students ng Pampanga High School. Kaya importante na magkaroon ng ugnayan sa pinakamalaking bilang sa mga magulang upang malaman natin kung ano ang kanilang mga kaisipan tungkol sa pagkakaroon ng face-to-face. Pangalawa, siyempre susunod tayo sa guidelines ng Interagency Task Force para guided tayo. At siyempre, ang Pampanga High School sa pangunguna ng ating principal Lynn ay gumagawa ng mga paraan at paghahanda sa pag-uumpisa ng face-to-face classes. Kabilang doon, kami sa Parents Teachers Associations ay makikipag-ugnayan at alamin kung saan kami makakatulong upang sa pagkakaroon ng safe na pagpasok ng ating estudyante sa mga darating na buwan.
Other newly elected PHS PTA officers are Mr. Richard M. David, Vice President, Mrs. Melanie Soledad Yap, Secretary, Mrs. Maria Cristina Ugalino, Treasurer, Mrs. Elmida S. Velez, Auditor, Mr. Valentin G. Verico, Business Manager, and Mrs. Rochelle D. Manalili as the Public Relations Officer. Meanwhile, serving as Board of Directors are Mr. Dennis Buenaventura, Mr. John Irving Nicdao, Mrs. Florentina Pachon, Mr. Eliezer Camaya, Mr. J. Vincent Quizon, Mrs. Vilma Flores, Mrs. Carmencita Limbitco, and Mrs. Laurelie Timbang. Maria Dina Penasilia Ochenko, News on Point.
To further promote the importance of health, especially during the pandemic, Pampanga High School handed out medical kits to the school staff. Here is Mitzi Kiambao to tell us the story.
Pampanga High School distributed medical kits to the school's teaching and non-teaching personnel on the second week of October. The medical kit includes an electronic blood pressure monitor, a thermometer, and a pulse oximeter. The project was spearheaded by Gender and Development in collaboration with the PHS medical team, finance team, Ma'am Cheska Flores, and approved by Principal Ma'am Linus Guerra. Furthermore, the program aims to promote prevention is better than cure and to make sure that all school personnel will do health self-assessment by checking their blood pressure, temperature, oxygen level, and pulse rate before they go to school for work. Ma'am Cheska Flores, proponent of the project, emphasized how the school cares for everyone, especially during the pandemic.
Because PHS cares. We care for everyone's safety, especially in this time of pandemic.
Ma'am Flores also expressed her words of encouragement for the PHS teaching and non-teaching staff.
Teaching during this time of pandemic is so far from the typical one. We have a lot of works and deadlines, but I know that we will surpass this all because we are born to be flexible and strong. Pause for a moment and realize that what you are doing really matters, especially to our learners.
Moreover, the distribution of medical kits also served as a token of appreciation to all the hardworking teachers on Teachers Month. This is Mitzi Kiambao, News on Point.
Pampanga High School Guidance and Counseling Center held a webinar on parenting during pandemic, how to deal with struggles, last October 22 as part of the project Gabay sa Magulang. Here is Jumala Season for the details.
To help the parents with their struggles, Pampanga High School Guidance and Counseling Center held Parenting During Pandemic, How to Deal with Struggles webinar last October 22. Parenting During Pandemic, How to Deal with Struggles is one of the activities under PHS Guidance and Counseling Center's project Gabay sa Magulang. Dr. Fernando Cadiz Carandang, registered psychologist, was the resource speaker of the said webinar.
Sir, what do you think is the best advice you could give to parents who don't know how to properly approach their children that are going through mental health issues?
Okay, there is no one size fits all eh. Kumbaga, depende kung ano yung mental health issues nila, di ba? Kasi ako, isang letra lang, listening. Okay? Bakit? Listening is the highest form of kindness. So, kapag marunong tayong makinig, kilala mo kasi anak mo eh. I mean, pwede natin sabihin tayo mga teachers, tayo mga guidance counselor, kilala natin sila nung face-to-face. Di ba? Eh ngayon, hindi na natin sila kilala dahil ilang buwan na ba tayo? Two school year na tayo hindi nagkikita-kita eh. So, tayo, marami nagbago. Dati, di ba naalala natin yung parent, ang teacher na nakakilala sa anak. Ngayon, baliktad na. mas lalo na didiskubre ng mga magulang yung kakayanan ng kanilang mga anak. Ngayon, kung sa tingin ng parent na merong problema, kailangan makinig sila. Hindi naririnig. Iba yung hearing sa listening. Kasi yung hearing narinig eh. Yung listening talagang tago sa puso.
The main objective of the webinar is to provide information to the parents since the information service of the guidance is not only for the students but also for the teachers and parents.
Yung ating parenting during pandemic, how to deal with the struggles, is one of the activities under our project Gabay sa Magulang. So, ang Guidance and Counseling Center with project Gabay sa Magulang, wherein its main objective is to provide information to our parents. So, ang information service kasi ng guidance is not only for students, meron din tayong sa teachers and then sa parents. So, sa teachers naman, we have project Gabay sa Guro. Now, for sa parents, yung ating Gabay sa Magulang. And one of the activities nga, yung ating webinar regarding sa mental health, kasi hindi lamang naman mga students ang nagkakaroon ng mga mental health concerns, issues, and problems, even yung mga parents. That's why yung ating title is Parenting During Pandemic, How to Deal with the Struggle. So this is focused on providing them with different tips on how to deal with the different problems sa kanilang mga anak, kung paano nila gagabayan ang kanilang mga anak during this time of pandemic, especially during this time of distance learning.
Guidance counselors conducted this program to help parents of PHS students when it comes to mental health, so that they will be able to guide their children properly, especially those students who are having issues while on distance learning.
Okay, so ang participants natin kasi mga parents. So to all the parents ng mga students natin sa PHS, so you are our partners in this distance learning. So meron tayong mga iba't ibang modalities when it comes to the delivery of education to our students. So we know your concerns and issues na nag-a-adjust din kayo just like the teachers. So nandito lang kami. If you have any concern, you can also message us on our Facebook page. You can set your appointment with us kung kailangan nyo ng assistance, kung kailangan nyo ng pang mga ibang tips on how you can guide or assist your children in this time of pandemic. So huwag kayong mag-atubiling lumapit sa amin sa guidance office. We have services not only for students, we have services for teachers and parents as well.
Head of the Guidance and Counseling Department, Mr. Lionel Samson, wants to inform those parents who have struggles that they can send message to them anytime. Jamala Season, News on Point.
Pampanga High School presented newly elected Pampanga High School Supreme Student Government Officers and Club Officers in each club. Here is Joanna Tumang for the updates.
Pampanga High School officially announced the newly elected Supreme Student Government Officers as part of the Department of Education's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan.
This event commenced with the orientation for all the Supreme Student Government Advisors in the Division of City of San Fernando, held via Zoom. Advisors then followed the interim guidelines. Meanwhile, the advisor of Pampanga High School Supreme Student Government, Mark Anthony Sawal, explained the objectives of the newly elected officers for the school year and the Fission's expectations from them.
Provide opportunity to all Fissians to exercise their rights, okay, their feelings, and of course their concern. We are supporting the BELCP or Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. No? Yung priority nito is the realignment aims to protect the health, safety, and well-being of our learners. No?
The same rules and guidelines were followed in the election of 22 registered clubs in Pampanga High School, such as the English Club, Science Club, Filipino Club, and Mathematics Club, among others. Furthermore, FASCO officers were officially announced at the official Facebook page of FASCO on October 17 with their newly elected President Stephanie Lena Liwanag, Vice President Ena Veronica Manlapat, Secretary Saira Dizon, Treasurer Luis Dakis, Auditor Isaac Gabriel Gomez, Public Information Officer Janice Kate Luzum, their Protocol Officer Earl Ian Gonzalez, as well as the chairpersons who will be the representatives from grades 7 to 12. In addition, Mr. Sawal also shared the benefits that the students will acquire from joining these clubs.
Students can benefit from these clubs, their potential and skills can be developed, okay, and they can be maximized by just joining this club organization.
The election of SSG and club officers is StepEd's initiative for another step closer in bridging the students back to a better normal once the pandemic is over. This is Joanna Tumang, News on Point.
Up next, Giant Lantern Festival Foundation Incorporated donates 500,000 pesos worth of school supplies to SDO San Fernando Education Pantry.
That and more when Music Toys returns!
Ang Schools Division Office City of San Fernando, Pampanga ay kaisa ng Department of Education sa pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto at programa na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mag-aaral. Inilunsad ang Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors upang magbigay ng educational at psychological assistance sa mga mag-aaral, magulang at stakeholders ng division. Kaya, kung may nais kayong itanong tungkol sa pag-aaral, maaaring magpadala ng mensahe sa Division Call Center for Tutors and Guidance Counselors Facebook page o tumawag sa mga numero na makikita sa ibaba ng inyong screen tuwing Lunes hanggang Biyernes sa ganap na alas 8 ng umaga hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Maaari rin kayong sumangguni sa ating guidance counselors na nagbibigay ng guidance and counseling services. Lahat ng inyong ibabahagi ay mananatiling confidential. Ang nasabing programa ay nagsisilbing daan upang malaman ang feedbacks ng stakeholders para matulungan ang ating divisyon na mapagbuti pa ang mga sumusunod na programa. Ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Tumawag na sa aming mga numero o bumisita na sa aming Facebook page at magpadala ng inyong mga katanungan.
City Schools Division of San Fernando's Project Nest received 500,000 pesos worth of school supplies from the Giant Lantern Festival Foundation Incorporated. Here is Keisha de los Reyes for more details.
The Giant Lantern Festival Foundation Incorporated, led by President Alfredo Bongma, gave 500,000 worth of school supplies to the City Schools Division of San Fernando. The turnover of donations happened in October 25 at the division's office in the City Civic Center in San Isidro. Schools Division Office Superintendent Officer in Charge Dr. Imelda Macaspac and Project Nest founder Mr. David Zab Jimenez were also present at the said event. According to Mr. Ma, they allocated $500,000 from the foundation's saving and decided to donate it to the Education Community Pantry to help learners. Included in their donations are boxes of papers, ballpens, and pencils. These supplies will be distributed to educational pantries in more than 40 schools, which will then be given to worthy students. Ma'am Imelda Macaspac said that they will prioritize students who don't have the capacity to buy their own things. She added that they have already made a list of recipients from every school in the city. Project Nest founder Mr. Jimenez also expressed how thankful he is to the Giant Lantern Festival Foundation Incorporated. He said that the donation was a big help to the project, and he also encourages other private groups, social-civic organizations, and foundations to help donate to the said project. This is Keisha de los Reyes, News on Point.
Pampanga High School English Club team organized a 3-day English Week celebration.
With the team discovering wonders to inspire and uphold harmony and solidarity through language and literature in the new normal, Pampanga High School English Club hosted a 3-day English Week celebration on November 17 to 19. More so, English Club advisor Shay Calpes said, this activity intends to promote students' critical thinking skills while also considering the things that limit the students and allowing them to relax and avoid stress. Officers of this club prepared activities for this year's English Week celebration, which includes spoken poetry, quiz bee, and a mystery type game which enhances the students' critical thinking skills.
Actually, we had a lot of considerations in coming up with different activities. First is the platform. We have been using Facebook for a very long time and it has been very useful. Now we can also use Facebook Story and TikTok, which actually catches the attention of the students. Okay. Second is the activity itself. We carefully selected the activities and made sure that it promotes critical thinking skills and fun at the same time. The activities are suited for the students' level and interests. And lastly, we also took into consideration the participants. Since not everyone is aware of a lot of things that are happening, the club is making a lot of effort to reach out to the students to make the event successful.
Pampanga High School Guidance and Counseling Center raised awareness to students on how to nourish their mental health in this time of pandemic.
With the topic of achieving mental health balance through mindfulness, a webinar was conducted for all officials in the Facebook page of PHS Guidance and Counseling Center on November 4. The program started with the queries and problems of students, parents, and guardians about the homeroom guidance module. It was then answered by saying that these modules are not graded but are for children to be taught life skills that are important for their success in life. For the main event, resource speaker and guidance counselor Joyce Ann Singson Kiambao let the audience understand the mental health concepts and different mental issues and know the basics of mindfulness. As said in the webinar, making bed, breathing exercises, or decluttering mind are only some of the things that you can do to achieve mindfulness.
Grade 12 students were now preparing for college as universities opened their admissions. Here is Apple Sochenko to tell us the story.
Pampanga High School Senior High Grade 12 students have started their applications to different universities and colleges for the academic year 2022-2023 admission portals. Among the schools that are being eyed by the PHS graduating students are the University of the Philippines, Ateneo de Manila University, University of Santo Tomas, and De La Salle University. Other students are still waiting for the acceptance of their applications of local universities like Holy Angel University, Angeles University Foundation, University of the Assumption, and Don Honorio Ventura State University.
As of now, I just applied in one university, which is the University of the Philippines, with BS Computer Engineering as my first course. Because my teachers here in PHS have made me appreciate and have taught a lot about technology. I will also be applying in Holy Angel University and Don Honorio Ventura State University, but I am still waiting for their admission portals to open.
With the ongoing conduct of limited face-to-face classes in schools that passed the IATF, DOH, and DepEd guidelines, grade 12 Fissions are looking forward to be back in schools during their first year in college.
First of all, I feel delighted that we are about to finish our grade 12 journey, and in a few months, we are entering a new chapter of our life where we will be called as college student. I think being a college student, we must be matured and responsible enough to face our new trials and challenges in life. It is also an opportunity for us to encounter several people such as our new teachers, classmates, friends, and our surrounding as well. It is the peak and highlight of our path since we are honing and exploring our potentials in the chosen field.
With a good education provided by the Pampanga High School and the supportive guidance personnel and administration staff, the opportunity to be accepted to the universities of their choice of the Pampanga High School graduating class of 2021-2022 is set to be realized.
Apples, what are some of the preparations being done by the grade 12 students relative to their application for college?
Last summer, students joined the online review for college tests which the Pampanga High School provided. However, most universities are not administering examinations this year. Instead, they are only requiring for the submission of some documents such as the birth certificate and Form 137.
Now, what were the reactions of the students upon knowing that there would be no test for most universities this year?
Well, most students think that there are advantages to not having examinations. Some have already anticipated this, that this year's application would only be based on school records just like last year.
Thank you, Apples.
Up next, PHS partakes on the celebration of National Reading Month.
Those stories and more after a short break.
Maya po oras kaya kayo, Fernandinos. Ako pala ay Elwin Arl Serrano ng City Tourism Office ng Ciudad San Fernando. Ngayong bulan na ini, pagmasusyan tayo ang National Heritage Month na ating temang Victory and Humanity, Upholding Filipino Heritage and Identity. Kambena nini, metong karang aktibidades na ng syudad, apin ng launching ng bayong Heritage Passport. Yung Heritage Passport, apin ng metong karing proyekto ng kaya katamong syudad, yung paminamuna ng Mayor Edwin D. Santiago. Anong nuka rin makalagelangan ding eganagan ng heritage sites, heritage structures, naakit tamo kin kay katamong heritage district. Makakayabe din keni, ding importansya da ding mapil na tradisyon, keni syudad, kalupa ng pamangawang parol, ang poing pamangalesa. May awo siyang heritage passport, uling atin kang dapat gawan, anong nukaran puntalan mo lading at yung passport at saka ka mag-selfie. Kay ba't kanta palto making tourism office at mamielang sticker ka rin eganagan ang apuntulan mong lugar. At timong may ngari ang tutong passport. Balo mingeni, panahon na ini, etamo makain bisa lumal, uli na ng COVID-19 pandemic. Kaya naman kimbanwa ngayon agkatan ko lading bikers tamo, edad 18 hanggang 50, imbis na lumaot kayo po, di na nyo lang dita ka oras di kaya katamong heritage structures, keni syudad. Anya naman karing mumu ng 50 bikers ang makayari kaya katamong heritage passport, midinan lang premium only San Fernando loot bag. Inggawan nyo mo bakit ta makapag-register, punta kayo mismo opisina na ng City Tourism, ng munisipyo, at saka kayo magdalang metong valid ID. Kabinan kaya kayong heritage passport, ating makasipit ang instruction nung nano pa ing dapat gawan. Anya naman ka rin hanggang kapadyakin, nanano ko pa, tara na!
In line with the National Reading Month celebration this November, Pampanga High School took part on various activities throughout the month as part of the annual celebration.
PHS participates in the National Reading Month through the conduct of several activities that were performed every Friday of the week for the whole month of November. The first reading session was joined by the students with their parents or guardians acting as the readers. They were tasked to read aloud the provided reading material while the students listened to them. On the other hand, the non-English subject teachers served as the readers for the second week, which was carried out virtually. The activity was divided into 4 sessions wherein different teachers were invited to read. Meanwhile, in the third week, the teachers were requested to present and read the piece or books that they composed. According to the in-charge SHS teacher for the activity, Ma'am Rachel Ragos, this was conducted to encourage the readers to write that would enable them to acquire values and principles. Lastly, the simultaneous silent reading was performed for the 4th week at 9 o'clock in the morning to take part in the Araw ng Pagbasa. In addition to that, PHS librarian Ma'am Ann Navarro shared her recommended books for students. Throughout the whole celebration, Ma'am Ragos said that its main goal is to emphasize the community, modeling the significance of reading. This is to encourage the learners to read through showing that the parents and teachers perform the actual process of reading.
Pampanga High School celebrated the 29th National Children's Month by promoting the awareness of the children's right with the theme New Normal na walang iwanan, karapatan ng bawat bata ating tutukan. Here is Ari Vergara for the story.
With the issuance of DepEd Memorandum No. 075 last October 28, 2021, as the celebration of the 29th Children's Month, Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones instructed to anchor the 3rd National Plan of Action for Children's Goals. Pampanga High School conveyed this celebration through weekly activities in promoting children's rights. In an interview with Mr. Mark Anthony Sawal, an araling panlipunan teacher and advisor of the Supreme Student Government of PHS, he described the different rights of a child and itemized the different programs that students, parents, teachers, and other school personnel can participate on the celebration of the 29th Children's Month.
Celebration actually is pursuant to Republic Act number 10661. This entitled an act declaring the month of November, of every year as the National Children's Month, which honors the ratification of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, or what we call CRC, by the United Nations General Assembly on November 20, 1989. So this further instills the significance of the CRC in the Filipino consciousness, as well as to sustain natin the promotion and protection of children's rights.
Moreover, Mr. Sawal shared his personal view on the impact of this year's theme, New Normal na walang iwanan, karapatan ng bawat bata ating tutukan. Likewise, he also mentioned on what would be the participation of Pampanga High School on the 3rd National Summit Rights of the Child Education. This year's theme is New Normal na walang iwanan, karapatan ng bawat bata ating tutukan. What do you think is the impact of this to our learners, parents, teachers, school administrators, and the community as a whole?
Okay, for me, I think it will have a huge impact, since sa tema pa lang, sinasabi walang iwanan, so no student shall be left behind, since the global onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, this 2020, the environment where children thrive were disrupted, and this have affected the rights of the children to survive, to develop, to be protected, and to participate safely.
In the new normal setting, the basic human rights the children everywhere must enjoy include survival rights, development rights, participation rights, and protection rights. Moreover, National Children's Month is not just a celebration for children on who they are, but it is also an event for children around the world that aims to spread awareness about the problems they face, that would continuously educate them about their rights for the improvement of their well-beings. This is Chrisbert M. Vergara for News on Point.
Social media giant Facebook finally renamed its corporate logo to Meta. Here is Hannah Hazaldone for the details.
The Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, CEO on Connect 2021, October 28, advertised the rename of their company brand to Meta, which would allow people to connect through a metaverse. Meta, a Greek word meaning beyond, represents the metaverse, a 3D space where anyone could socialize, collaborate, and learn with the use of virtual and augmented reality. Facebook, the company, will no longer be named as it is, yet it changed its name to Meta, the tech giant announced at a Connect conference. Meanwhile, Facebook app is not changing its name, nor other apps under it, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. According to Zuckerberg, he wanted Facebook, now Meta, not to be known for being a social media company, but a metaverse company. Moreover, he stated that instead of connecting people and technology, he wanted to focus connecting people through technology. Despite the rebrand of their corporate logo, their vision would still be the same: connecting people. Zuckerberg did not only want to limit social media from just being seen on a screen to a hologram that anybody can keep up with and bring the physical world digitally. He added that through this metaverse, accessed via the internet, can be used in entertainment, education, lifestyle, fitness, work, and many more in the next 5 or 10 years. They would keep building tools that would help people feel they've connected anytime, anywhere, and through the metaverse, they could keep people connected via virtual spaces. Furthermore, Tom Allison, head of Facebook, announced a new way for creators and social media influencers to make Facebook groups profitable. Considering Facebook groups as various contents such as gaming, sports, arts, and food, this can be a key to getting creators to make money. Facebook groups, moderators, and administrators can create a fundraiser and a shop applicable to their group and payment processing for taxes waived in June 2022. Allison stated that he wants the best place for creators to have sustainable business and offerings. And via Facebook groups, creators could generate revenue for they know the content they make for people is beneficial. On the other hand, people could connect in the form of avatars, from real-to-life features of the face, making eye contact in real time with people you are with, and facial expressions through this code-named the Project Cambria. It is a high-end product that represents the physical world through a VR headset with the high resolution, a sense of depth, and perspective released next year, 2022.
Social media does not bring around apps, but people. For Zuckerberg, realistic presence is the key to feeling connected to the metaverse. They believe that this metaverse would be the successor of the mobile internet and would unlock phenomenal opportunities and immersive experiences. Hannah Haseldoned, News on Point.
Up next, vibrant paroles and dazzling lights radiate holiday vibes all over San Fernando.
Hindi lamang sa larangan ng pangkabuhayan apektado ang maraming pamilyang Pilipino, kundi maging sa larangan ng pagkatuto ng bawat batang Pilipino. Inilunsad ng siyudad ng San Fernando ang programang Nurturing Environment and System for Thriving or NEST, isang education community pantry na naglalayon para sa isang malawakang pagtulong, pagtantabay at paggabay na ang focus ay ang makapagbigay ng tulong at suporta sa ating mga mag-aaral sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng educational needs gaya na lamang ng school supplies, tutorial sessions, study tips, at iba pang mga pamamaraan na mas lalong makatutulong sa pag-angat ng ating edukasyon. Dahil hindi hadlang ang pandemya sa magandang kinabukasang naghihintay sa ating mga mag-aaral. Sino-sino nga ba ang mga kalahok sa programang ito? Sa pagtutulungan ng ating school administrators, guro, magulang, at iba pang mga miyembro ng ating komunidad gaya ng barangay officials at sangguniang kabataan ay siguradong magiging mas matagumpay ang programang ito. Paano nga ba ang magiging proseso ng naturang programa? Una, magkakaroon tayo ng isang Facebook group, ang Pampanga High School NEST Education Community Pantry na pangungunahan ng Educational Pantry Coordinator. Ang mga magulang, tagapangalaga at mga guro ay ia-add ng ating Educational Pantry members sa Facebook group na ito. Sa page na ito maaaring i-post ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga o sino mang miyembro ng Educational Pantry ang kanilang mga kahilingan o requests. Kailangan ding ilagay ang pangalan ng mag-aaral, grade, at section para sa mas agarang aksyon. Oo nga pala, hindi lang requests ang pwedeng i-post. Pwede ring mag-post ang mga nais magbigay ng tulong o mga gustong mag-donate. Sabi nga nila, sharing is caring. Tandaan na ang Facebook group na ito ay pribado at posts na may kaugnayan lamang sa page na ito ang maaaprobahan. Mayroon din palang Google Form na ipamamahagi kung saan maaari nating isumite ang ating requests o kahilingan. Paano naman ang mga walang internet access sa bahay? Huwag mangamba dahil merong mga nakalaang drop boxes ang ating paaralan na kung saan maaaring ihulog ng mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang kanilang requests. Sa mga nais namang mag-donate ng school supplies, maaaring ilagay ang mga ito sa tabi ng drop boxes. Maaari ring mag-donate ng mga kagamitan o cash donation kaakibat ang pagsusumite ng deed of donation form. Pangalawa, mahalaga ang ugnayan ng mga guro at ng mga magulang o tagapangalaga sa programang ito. Gamit ang video calls o chats ay ipahahayag ng mga guro ang adhikain ng programang ito sa mga magulang o tagapangalaga. Maaari ring gawin ang orientation na ito ng face-to-face kasabay ng schedule ng kuhanan ng mga module. Gaya ng nabanggit, hindi lamang mga bagay ang maaaring i-donate. Pwede ring mag-conduct ng tutorial session, study tips, at iba pang mga kagamitan sa pagkatuto gaya ng mga aklat o kaya ay gadgets. Ikatlo, ang requested needs ng ating mga magulang o tagapangalaga ay ililista ng ating NEST focal person. Ang mga coordinator naman ang mag-aayos ng mga ito. Ang advisors ng ating mga mag-aaral, guidance counselor, at iba pang mga guro ay ipaaalam sa ating mga magulang at tagapangalaga ang petsa at oras ng pamimigay ng requested needs na gaganapin sa paaralan. Sabi nga nila, it takes a village to raise a child. Kaya naman aktibo at iba yung pakikilahok ang inaasahan sa pagsasanib puwersa ng paaralan at barangay na siyang tutukoy sa pangangailangan ng bawat Fernandinong mag-aaral at kikilos upang matugunan ito sa tulong at suporta rin ng mga miyembro ng komunidad. Isang malawakang komunidad para sa isang produktibong educational community pantry ay tiyak na lilikha ng iba yung pagkilos upang maging mas magaan at madali ang pagkatuto ng bawat kabataang Fernandino. Kaya naman tandaan, magbigay ayon sa kakayahan, kumuha ayon sa pangangailangan.
Christmas season approaches, vibrant paroles and dazzling lights radiated holiday vibes all over San Fernando, continuing to provide happiness for everyone.
The annual celebration features a series of scintillating lanterns along the Jose Abad Santos Avenue and sparkling display of lights and paroles on the City Hall and Heroes Hall. On a Facebook post by San Fernando City Information Office, the lanterns were showed off as the excellent artistry of the well-renowned Fernandino lantern makers Arvin Kiwa and Roland Kiambao. Other than that, a vibrant light show is raved by Fernandinos in the Orchid Gardens Resort Complex, open from 6 p.m. to 12 midnight. This Nights of Lights Christmas Village is a mix of modern and traditional Pamaskong Kapampangan.
Delivering you the latest and hottest news in your region, I am Charlize Castro.
Get ready to share gifts of love and happiness because it's 23 days before Christmas. I am Jaden Sampang.
From the home for live and news, direct from the source, straight to the point, I am Bitch Drinks Mamalon. This is
News on Point.
And here is On Point Extra. Reliability is the ability to be relied on or depended on. As for accuracy, honesty, or achievement. The nearest word to reliability is trustworthiness. Trustworthy combines the common word trust, which describes something you can be relied on, and the word worthy, which describes something that deserves respect. So something or someone that is trustworthy deserves your trust. Others can depend on you when you keep your commitments and give your best to every job. You don't forget and you don't need to be reminded. You really care about doing what you promise. You are doing your best on every task and finish on time. Find another way if obstacles occur. God does not begin by asking us about our ability, but only our availability. And if we then prove our dependability, He will increase our capability. The capabilities of a person are guided by noble intentions and are thus used to serve and benefit others. Teachers are best example of being reliable and trustworthy. They do not just finish tasks on time, but accomplish them with commitment and dedication, making them one of the most trusted persons in the world. Affirmation: I am reliable. I keep my promises. Others can depend on me. Nothing can stop me from giving my best. I can be trusted upon on everything I say and do.